During the 19th and 20th century, there were no people more courageous than those who travelled across the sea to a distant place with only memories behind them and the unknown future ahead. Over the last 200 years, Chinese have been arriving in Australia from the mainland and Southeast Asia. 1 million stories is about their trials, tribulations and triumphs in the land they now call home. And the stories begin with the first generation arrivals.
My name is Mak Sai Ying, and I am the great-great-great-grandson of Mak Sai Ying, the first known Chinese immigrant to Australia. He arrived in 1818, 200 years ago.
But even before the British colonists arrived in 1788, there already had been indirect contact between Aboriginal clans and Chinese traders.
My name is Carol Moore. My great-grandfather Panlook came to Australia from Canton in the early 1850s. He was a young gold miner up in the Buckland Valley in northeastern Victoria. Sadly, tragically, his shop was burnt down in the 1857 Buckland riot.
My grandfather, Chin Man Fun, came to Australia in 1917. It was a very difficult time. There was the White Australia policy in place in Australia. There was turmoil in China with unrest and the subsequent depression in the 30s, Japanese invasion and the Chinese Civil War.
Today, most Australians have ancestors who made the great effort to migrate to Australia to escape tremendous adversity or to chase opportunity in a new land.
I arrived in Melbourne in December 1959 and from Malaysia. At that time, education in Australia is well known due to the Colombo Plan Scholarship. And when I was here, the White Australian policy was still in existence, so it was very much an Anglo-Saxon community, and so multiculturalism as it is today does not exist.
My parents arrived in Australia from Vietnam in 1978 as humanitarian refugees. When they arrived in Australia, in Melbourne, they had nothing. They had to start afresh.
My name is Vivian Wang. I came in 2006 as an overseas student from Tianjin, which is the sister city with Melbourne. So I used to be studying international finance. I see the so many lovely cakes. I suddenly changed my career to a pastry chef to settle my life in Australia.
There are now over 1.2 million Australians of Chinese ancestry living in Australia that continue the journey that their ancestors began as part of the Australian national identity.